Welcome back. Thanks for being here on this lovely Friday. Before we get started, I just want to say happy birthday to my fourth daughter, Carly. Today is her birthday. She is 23 years old. So celebrate my Carly Shay, and she is definitely worth celebrating. Today's topic is on empty nesting, or just your kids going off away to college. It's the beginning of August. Many of you will be facing a child leaving home, whether it's your first, and that can be challenging, or it's your last, and now you will not have any children in the nest, so to speak. A couple of weeks ago on Instagram stories, I opened it up to where you could submit a question on any topic, and I left this open for about an hour. And I definitely learned my lesson. There was way too many questions for me to answer, but I did pretty much cover every single question unless it was a question that really needed to be addressed in coaching. And one of the questions was, have you felt the empty nest feeling when your daughters moved out? Well, I answered that question in a Friday newsletter on Friday, July 14th, and I answered all the other questions that didn't have to do with parenting and raising children in Monday's newsletter on July 17th. So if you didn't get a chance to read those newsletters, that would be a great way to search them, is by the date. But I did address the questions, and that was one of them. And I'm going to read to you what I replied back. My empty nest feeling is I love it. It's a great place to be. I've enjoyed every season of being a mom, but I love life and feel so accomplished from my years of raising children today. There is nothing I love more than having thriving, successful adult daughters who are literally my greatest friends. And now I am blessed with beautiful grandchildren to enjoy on a whole new level. Welcome. I'm Tracy Hensel. I'm a certified professional coach and ICF credential holder. I help people just like you make tweaks in your life so that you can live the optimal life you desire, how you see it. Yeah, this is a big topic. It comes up often in coaching with my clients because they struggle. Well, I will share with you, I do technically still have one child at home. As you know, my husband and I have 5 daughters, and our oldest one is a senior this year. But for the most part, I can honestly say we really are empty nesters. She requires very little of us. She really is adulting. Most of her school day is in college because she is part of a program where in 11th and 12th grade of her high school years, she spends most of her day in college courses, and she will graduate from high school with about 30 college credits to go towards her college education. So at the end of the day, she works, she goes to school, she manages her life beautifully. And we have our own life. We really do have our own life. If she needs something from us, she lets us know, but I can tell you she is adulting. She manages her money, she manages her groceries. I cook every day, but if she wants it, she has it, she manages things, and it's a beautiful place to be. And a lot of that is how we chose to raise our daughters. I never struggled, and you have to understand that I have 5. I have 5, so I have 2.5 to 3 more children than the average. I don't know if the average is still between 2 and 3, but take what you have and double that, basically. So you can only imagine, I guess, I would think, but maybe not, that when you have 5, you're ready. You've done your due diligence, right? And it's not that I didn't love my girls being in the home, But there comes a time, and I think a lot of it is I know how ready they are. So when we take our own personal feelings out of it and how we feel, and we look at what's best for our child, it's a very different lens to look through. And sometimes it can be very selfish when we think about what we're going to go through, but there comes a time when the kids really do need to start adulting and experience things on a much larger scale than what they are going to in the home. Some different things happen, and I would love for you to weigh in. Sometimes the reason mom has a lot of animosity or negative feelings, catabolic energy around a child leaving the home is because she actually questions if they're truly prepared. And if you're watching this video and you are still a few years out, yeah, it's going to be really important to make sure that your children are ready to leave. Because if you have that confidence, it is going to go a long ways in that transition of them leaving and you thriving after they leave. If you're a worrywart and you're worrying about them, a couple of things. Number one, you may just show up as a worrier. Some people do, and coaching can do wonders if that's you. If you worry in all areas of life, why would this be any different, right? But if you're worrying because you really don't feel that your child is ready to go out and adult, that can be a concern, right? That can be a concern. But believe me, they're more resilient than we are, and your child, your young adult child, will figure it out. And sometimes they need to. They need to sweat a little bit. Think about your own journey today. I say all the time, we don't grow when things are all going well. There's no opportunity to grow then. We grow when little things get a little off and we have to adjust course. We have to be resilient. We have to adapt. We have to overcome. So allowing your child to experience what they're going to inevitably experience anyway is really a beautiful gift. But the other thing that comes up is mom made her whole entire life about the kids. And I will share with you, that is not something I chose to do, and it is a choice. I never gave up who I am. I talk all the time about active roles. I never let go of me, being a mom. I never said no to myself to say yes to meet everyone else's needs. Now, I'm pretty routine and structured, and I am someone who gets the job done. So I am someone who could do it, who could be a good mom and who could be a good wife. And I could be hands-on in many areas and juggle quite a few balls. Some people can't, and you have to identify kind of where you fall in that. Because maybe the only ball that you were juggling was the kids. And if that's the only ball that you were juggling, some balls got neglected and now it's showing up because now you're empty nesting. And you may be home, no longer working, or maybe you were a stay-at-home mom. And the husband, your husband, their father, is still working. So now you have all this time and you don't have all these activities to be running to because at the end of the day, let's face it, our kids keep us pretty busy. And a lot of our social engagement with other people is a result of being at all these extracurricular activities and sports with our kids, right? And now that ship has sailed and you feel a little lost. Often I will hear the word stuck from a client. I feel stuck. Yeah, it would make complete sense that you would feel that way if the only ball that you were juggling was your role as a mom. And you were so plugged in with their life that everything else got pushed to the wayside. Well, you can't go back and change that. Now, if you still have other children in the home, this can be good information for you to adjust course if you choose to, but no one can make that happen but you. All the power lies within you. So what do you do with that power, right? Well, understand you're going to have to put some effort in. If the marriage is compromised because you neglected that active role, yeah, it's going to be hard, because if there's a lot of years under your belt, your spouse, your husband, he's learned how to have a life without you. He's learned to have a thriving and satisfying life without you, because you put all your time and focus on the kids and maybe neglected that relationship, right? It's going to be hard to get him back, and you're really going to have to be the one to communicate that you neglected that area and now you want to cultivate that area. And then the two of you need to talk about, what does cultivating look like, right? Because every couple's needs are going to be different. Maybe you start doing weekly date night and mix it up. Go back to places that you used to go to. Maybe you take turns picking an establishment. Or maybe you do something in the home, or you pick up a sport together. You know, Paul and I picked up dance lessons at the beginning of January. I facilitated that. It was something for us to do together, right? You have to make it happen. You have to step out there and you have to get uncomfortable. And a lot of women, they just tiptoe around it. They tiptoe around it because it feels awkward to all of a sudden kind of have a little energy towards your partner or your spouse when you've been so detached for so long. To rekindle that flame is going to feel awkward at first, but you have to say, what's the opportunity? And again, we grow with discomfort. So welcome the discomfort and get reconnected and reignited, because you really are at a great season. I mean, this is people that aren't loving middle age and the middle of their life. It's hard for me to even. I can't even stomach that, because these are the best years. Oh, I love it. The kids are grown and gone and they're thriving and they're all doing great, and we have a great relationship, and grandkids are coming in, and freedom, freedom, freedom. We get to go as we please, and we manage things well, and we manage our relationship and manage our money. These are the best years, and they still can be for you. But outside of the marriage as well, start connecting with other women and don't expect it to just happen. I know a couple of them are my clients, but I know women that have made it happen. They have found networks of friends because they made it happen and they got involved. Whether you get involved in, again, an activity. I have one client that's doing pickleball and she plays with other women. She also has met a couple other women and they do walks together, hiking. They go skiing during the winter months. They went canoeing not too long ago. She is making this happen, though. She has had to get out of her comfort zone to make this happen. Think about what your interests are. Write it out. I always say brain dump. Get everything out of your head. What is it that you like to do? What gives you energy, right? What gives you energy? What gives you life? Write it out. I know exactly what gives me energy and what gives me life. And then you start to seek that, right? You start to seek that because like attracts like. So whatever it is that you enjoy to do, you have to put yourself in that place so that you have an opportunity to meet other like-minded people. Don't go places that don't align with what you are looking for. Your best life is still waiting for you, okay? It really is. Your best life. And it doesn't mean that that life of raising children wasn't wonderful and thriving and abundant. It's all those things, all the fuzzies that I can think of from raising my children. But it's okay to say, I have another life to live. And it's going to be beautiful and abundant. And it's full of potential and it's full of opportunities. because I'm no longer juggling so many balls and I have some freedom. So step into that power and make things happen. Get involved. Get involved with other people. If you are taking care of elderly parents, and many of us are facing that, you still need to connect outside of that because again, here you are, just being a caretaker, just pleasing, pleasing, pleasing. And in coaching, we'll peel back the layer of all this pleasing, 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 but it's your time now, right? Say that it's my time now, or with your spouse, it's our time now. And what are we going to do with it? What's the opportunity? Get together with other couples. That's a great way to transition into that reconnection with your partner. Is other couples that you can feel motivated, inspired by. And then when you leave whatever the dining establishment from visiting for a couple of hours, you're feeling really good and he's feeling really good. And this can really complement your intimacy if that's been compromised as well. And often it has. Often it has. And it's really awkward to get that back when it's been so long since that beautiful pleasure has been there, right? Yeah. So great topic. I actually asked you guys on Instagram if you wanted me to do a video on this, if I had enough interest, and I did. And there's probably some of you watching that you're not there yet. Your kids are younger. This is a great video to revisit because what you do today will make a big difference later on. Remember, we're juggling a lot of balls. And let's just say that you have 7 balls and you're juggling them. And all of those balls that you're juggling are rubber. But 1 out of the 7 is glass. So you're juggling 6 rubber balls and a glass ball. If any of those rubber balls fall to the ground, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're rubber. They're going to hit the ground and they're going to do what? They're going to bounce right back up. Yeah, they're going to bounce right back up and you're going to be just fine. But what happens, ladies? What happens if you drop a glass ball? What happens? It's shattered. It's shattered. It doesn't bounce back. So when you look at your active roles, name each rubber ball. But what's the glass ball? What's the ball that will shatter if it gets neglected? That is the most important thing, right? Hopefully you caught last Friday's video on the most important thing is to make the most important thing. What's the most important thing? So check it out. All right, last day to get registered for the time blocking masterclass that starts tomorrow. Mod 1, video 1 will be in your inbox tomorrow. And then the whole month of August, you will get your other 2 videos and then you'll meet me for the live Q&A at the end of August. Last call. Get registered. If for some reason you miss taking advantage of the time blocking masterclass, it will be on the replay tab, but not until early September. So highly, highly encourage you to plug in and get involved in the time blocking masterclass. It's going to be epic. There's a link in the description box below this video where you can get to the page to get more information, and there's also a couple of videos where I talk about it, and those will be linked as well. So would love to have you join. And currently, Quarter 3, 3-week intense is in full swing. We started that on Tuesday, on August 1st. That's another great way to get connected with other like-minded women because we are so active on the Facebook group page. We're all talking on there. I'm sending videos. Quarter 4 dates are coming soon. Take note so that you can get involved. All right, would love for you to weigh in and where you're at on your empty nesting journey, and just be sure to do some sharing. I love to read what you guys have to offer and to contribute to this beautiful, beautiful channel of mine. So thank you. All right, have a lovely weekend and happy birthday to daughter number 4, Carly Shay. I'll see you soon right here on YouTube, the Time Blocking Masterclass or 3 Week Intense. Take care.